Hello, my name is Elizabeth Arce,
And my name is Lucia Guerrero.
and today we want to talk about what has happened in this pandemic that make us human. In this program, the main point we want to highlight is adaptability as an impress ability of the human being, and through that, emphasize in some important aspects that we consider that make us human and show what we do to adaptation.
So to start, we're going to talk about this first point. We're going to talk about resilience. Resilience is the understanding of adverse situations and how they can be overcome. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is a skill that is acquired when facing difficult situations and therefore is within everyone's reach. The events that happen to us do not fully determine how we find ourselves. People have the ability to handle adverse situations by starting our coping strategies, among which are asking for help from the environment to manage problems and emotions when we feel overwhelmed, and at the acceptance of scenarios that we cannot modify. In that way, the pandemic has helped to acquire this skill. Um, Bosaki, 2012, in his research of empathy, resilience, and gratitude, point out that in the opening to new life experiences, the dimension of resilience post-COVID-19 was the most predominant. That means their level of strength to overcome the obstacles that are expected in the future are very, very optimal and favorable being in a normal situation.
Also, during this pandemic, we spend a lot of time with ourselves, of course, so we can develop this ability, self-cares. People who develop strategies that allow them to deal with stressful situations efficiently tend to have a better levels of mental health, which in turn have a positive impact on general health and the adoption and practice of healthy lifestyles. Self-care means being mindful and attentive to how yourself and your body are. So I think that small changes like take time to walk in or doing a little exercise routine during the day or going to the bed earlier than usual can reduce stress and you feel more relaxed and resilient. So this is an important ability that can can show us how to face during this pandemic and this situation.
Now let's talk about new habits and practices we have learned thanks to the pandemic. First, we can talk about local markets. When the world went into crisis, many people flocked to outdoor farmers markets and other small businesses to buy much needed produce. And also, for example, another new habit, we can talk about work from home. When the pandemic closed many face-to-face offices, people quickly went out online to continue working virtually. And working from home also gave families the opportunity to enjoy dinner together. Also, during this time, it became much more difficult, or in some cases impossible, to see loved ones in person. And families living in the same house spent time together and often participated in activities such as making bread and putting together a puzzle. In addition to increasing bonding time, dining together as a family also showed a positive association with fruit and vegetable consumption, according to a study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Education, and Behavior. And definitely the new hygiene measures adopted have prevented the spread of many diseases such as the flu.
So as we know, 2020 marked an increase of the use of platforms and technological tools, and with an increase from 70 to 300%, depending on the activities carried out daily. There was growing in the use of applications, for example, for paid methods and healthcare, commerce, shopping, education, and also to work. More and better applications were also developed to support the economy. And I think people all ages had to learn to use mobile devices, tablets or laptops, and also their applications, of course, to avoid access to establishment and reduce the direct contact with other people. So use of technological tools is a way to continue with our life, but also an adaptive abilities to do that what we do before, but in other way.
And so also we can talk about the ability to learn. This pandemic has shown us the incredible ability to learn that we have as human. Thanks to sustained efforts globally, the current pandemic has shown us that knowledge sharing and communication keep us together, even virtually, and that learning from others and our own experience is as essential as attending formal education. At the same time, the crisis has emphasized the importance of online learning, which, despite global digitization efforts, it is still not widely recognized and valued. We have also learned the importance of digital skills, as well as the ability to multitask, and that transferable skills can make a difference in cases where work, family, and school have all moved to the same place.
The pandemic taught a lot of things, but I think one of the most important is that we live in society. It's been a show that support networks have been one of the closest options to respond to needs. For example, NGOs, public service, private companies work together to support each other, and also the people who support their community or neighborhoods also show that that is the closest way to support and help other people. So it's important to be empathetic and consider that we live in society, because that makes us human.
So to finish with this program, there is a quote that we want to read with you. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. Charles Darwin. So with this presentation, we know that one of the things that makes us human is our adaptability. So thank you so much, and see you next time.
Thank you.